friends, welcome to another episode of Dabbling with Dan. Today Dan is going to be dabbling in filling up the rear transaxle of this riding lawnmower with new oil. And the oil that I'm going to be using is a 5W50 weight. And earlier in our rebuild project we removed the transaxle, and I'll show you here in a second. There's a fill cap you take off and it's got a magnet and you're looking for any type of metal. We didn't find any, and then what we did, we tipped it over and drained all the fluid out. And there's a special way of priming the transaxle with the new oil, and we're going to go ahead and show you how to do that in case you happen to come across having to do this yourself in the near future. Again, this is a Craftsman riding lawnmower. Most all of these lawnmowers that you buy at your local hardware store, they're pretty much built at the same place, and we'll show you how to go ahead and fill this up and get it back on the grass cutting circuit. Come on, but before we go, don't forget over there in that corner there's a little subscribe button, and here's my QR code for my channel. Leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, share with a friend. Talk to you soon. Let's dig into this project. Should be interesting. So from the back of the frame, what you're looking at is a cooling fan, and we're going to have to remove the cooling fan to gain access to the plug. So you're going to need snap ring pliers to remove the snap ring, which I have already done earlier, but thought you would like to see that. That's what that looks like. Then the cooling fan will pull just straight up like so. Now there is I'm going to call it a wavy washer between the cooling fan and the pulley, and we have to pull the pulley out to gain access to the reservoir plug. And I'll go ahead and pull that out. We'll set that off to the side. And there's the drain plug that we're going to have to go ahead and pull out. Now you need a really fine screwdriver, flathead, to kind of wedge this unit out. And that's kind of what it looks like. And this is the magnet that is attached. That will pick up any metal that might be breaking apart in the gears. When we pulled it out, we didn't have anything on there, so that's a good sign. Now, I want to go ahead and make a note. We're going to go ahead and pour the 5W50 synthetic oil in here. And Jim told me we have to prime things and we have to spin the shaft. Now, there is a nut that's attached to this, and I happen to have found a socket that will fit. It's got to be a deep well socket, and this is a 21 millimeter that will fit down on top of that nut. That way you can go ahead and use a drill to spin that to help pump the oil in the actual transaxle, which needs to be done.
We have to spin that. Oh, just to bleed the air out of it, because as we put this oil in, there's going to be some air trapped in there, and we need to purge that air.
Okay.
You know, the ideal way of doing it is fill it up to the proper level, put it back together, run it back for it, purge the air, and then top off the oil. But it's such a pain to get to this thing.
Oh, sure.
We're going to do it on this, but do it just using the drill as the running device.
Will we run it like high speed?
Yeah, fairly. Well, the highs will go.
High as it'll go, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
so this, like I say, this is 2 chambers in here. And one goes to the hydrostatic transmission, the other goes to the gears, but it'll spill over into the other.
okay.
And it should take a little over 2 quarts. then we purge it, it'll drop down there, it comes out of there, and we'll need to top it off. And it has to be, the book says to do it 22 to 25 millimeters from the top edge of this is where your fill level is. And we'll choose the 22 to make it a little bit more oil in case you get a little leakage.
Okay.
And that's 7/8 of an inch.
Yeah, because we didn't replace the seals, but we didn't really see any leaking
We
from the
didn't,
seals.
but if we do it a little bit, it ain't gonna hurt it. It says 22, and that's what we'll put it at 22. That's 7/8 of an inch. So we'll need to, once we get ready to top it off, we'll need to get a little stick or a screwdriver or something and mark it at 22 millimeters.
All right. So obviously we'll just use a funnel and start pouring this stuff in there, right?
Yeah, and we've decided to use D550 synthetic.
Yeah, this is what I ordered.
Yep, perfect.
I hope so, because
According to the Tough Torque guys, of course, they want you to buy their own brand, but they say that 5W50. Originally, they put 10W30 motor oil in it.
Oh, really?
From the factory. But I guess they've learned. I don't know if they still do that or not. They might. Very interesting on the Tough Torque guide. They say the oil is permanent for normal usage.
right.
But then says, if you really want it to last a little longer, you change it at 50 hours and then at every 200 hours. Of course, we have no idea
How many hours were
how
on
many
this
hours
one?
are on this thing.
I don't think there was many, but I tell you, when we poured the oil out, it was nasty.
It's pretty dark.
So compared to what we're pouring in,
Since we got it here, it gives us a chance to
service it.
service it, and it'll be good for 200 hours at a minimum, and it'll take him a long time to put 200 hours on this. Probably the rest of the tractor will die before then.
Right. But I tell you, I've had a lot of tractors. Actually, maybe not a lot, but I've had a few tractors in my life. I've never ever thought about ever doing maintenance on a rear transaxle. Never have. And I was sharing with the audience, like when we started it and brought it, we put it onto the truck to bring it here, it sounded like it was squeaking out the back.
It was making a whining
A
sound.
whining noise.
Yeah,
So-
that's a little air, because it was low a little bit.
Oh, so it was just because it was low?
Yeah, the oil level was a little low when we opened it up.
So put 2 quarts in right off the bat, right?
Yeah, it'll hold 2 quarts. Slow it down a little bit, let it drip over. Now the bigger, the Cub Cadets that I have at home, rear ends have filters and a dipstick, and you're to service them every so often.
Oh, okay.
That's in the manual, is you're supposed to replace the filter and fluid every so often. So those are designed for the long haul.
So what am I seeing here? Is it filling up?
No, it's not quite. It's not up over that ledge yet.
Okay, so let's keep on. Can you see?
Yeah, here. Continue on. I did bring out another starter, and we'll see if it does any better.
Okay.
I was able to find it.
Was it upstairs, downstairs?
It was in my upstairs. It was in a box with a PTO on it, and I said, maybe that's where that thing is.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make the switch. How about there?
I'll keep on going. I'll do all of it. All right. That looks pretty good. You can take that out of there, and like I say, it should take we got to get the air out of it now.
Okay,
So what we'll do is pull out that, that little disengage thing is,
this thing,
you'll push that
forward.
No, we're gonna run it, with that thing disengaged, we'll run it backwards and forward from these pedals since we already hooked it up here.
Oh, okay.
So while you spin it, I'll run the pedals.
Straight down, see if we see any air bubbles coming out of this. Oh yeah, here comes the bubbles.
I'm seeing more bubbles in there now. That, to me, that looks, there might have been some residual oil still in that thing. It's supposed to take like 2.3 quarts,
Oh.
and it took 2 quarts.
That's approximately the level.
I mean, that's a little bit more than 22 millimeters, but we're not going to take it out of there.
Okay.
Just leave it.
And if it was too much, it would overflow out the vent.
As it builds up pressure, it'll overflow it.
Okay. All right. Well, now I guess we need to put the magnet and the cap back in. Now we got the level up, and how this magnet goes in, it doesn't go flat. There are these 2 little grooves right here and right there. And this goes in like so. And then the cap goes on. We gotta make sure it gets pushed down in there.
Probably going to have to tap on that with something.
Yeah, like a
Hammer around the sides.
here. Now remember everybody, over here in the corner there's a subscribe button. And again, I want to thank Jen for helping us out. Here it is, ready to cut grass. In about what, 3 months?
Yeah, about 4 months from now, we'll start using it.